Hey, welcome to the Deep Discipleship Podcast. I'm Doug, and this is Kellee. And we try to come to you a couple of times each month and talk through all things deep discipleship. So we're really excited today. Of course, we're really excited. We always say that at the beginning of the podcast. I might say I'm thrilled today. How about that?
I'm
To
thrilled.
actually talk with you about intentional programming. So, Kellee, you're talking with youth pastors every day. How many youth pastors are talking to you about programming, strategy, youth ministry, structure? Do you get this conversation a lot? Do you get a lot of questions about this?
It's so funny because in the beginning of conversations, I don't. I get a lot of questions about lessons. What do I need to do? And then once I bring to their attention, hey, did you know that we have a strategy? Did you know that we help you with some intentionality? Then they get to see what we provide. And then there's all kinds of questions, right?
Right. This is the
uh,
big deep discipleship secret. Everybody thinks that deep discipleship is just lessons or just parent resources. And the reality is it's a whole system to run your whole youth ministry. And the beauty of this whole programming area is that it's simple, it's easy. And the best part is it's easy to communicate as well, correct?
yep, absolutely.
Yeah, we're talking about three simple words: reach, grow, go. And we actually give you this tool, this chart in Deep Discipleship, where you take every event you're doing and you ask yourself this question: is that a reach event? Is that a grow event? Is that a go event? The reason we're using these three words is because it's the only three things we do in youth ministry. Every youth ministry's got a different mission statement, but almost every youth ministry I've ever been around has the exact same strategy. They might use the word equip, or they might
Yeah.
use the word, what are some of the other words they use for this? Treasure, nurture, all kinds of
Yeah.
different things, right? But
Oh, man.
right, exactly. But there's just three things we do in youth ministry. We reach lost kids, we help students grow in Christ, and we help students go and use their gifts. If you do those three things, you're going to kill it in youth ministry. It's not that complicated. It's actually pretty simple. And so we actually give you reach events. We give you grow events, discipleship, which is kind of the whole focus of it. And we give you student leadership go events, which we're really great at, I think. And so I think we can really help you with programming. So okay, Kellee, flush out for us a little bit. What does reach really mean? What does grow really? What does go really mean? Let's just flush that out a little bit for us.
Yeah, yeah. So we know that you, as a youth pastor, carry a lot of weight and it can be super overwhelming. And so we try to make everything very simple, make it very easy for you to implement, make it very easy for you to explain, make it very easy for your students to understand. And I feel like we have to say, we didn't actually come up with this because it's literally in the Bible. Like Jesus taught us, reach, grow, go. But to start with reach,
But we
these are
copyrighted it, right? We copyrighted
we
it.
yeah, we did. We did. These reach events, these are your outreach events. They are designed to bring your unbelievers into a relationship with Christ. And so in these events, it's your job to invite students and it's your job to make sure that you present the gospel of Jesus. This can look various ways. It can be an all-out event. It could be something where you have a very intentional, just invite your friends to youth group on a specific night and you have all of these unbelievers come. And it could even be specifically where you are reaching unbelievers in your youth group. I have students all the time that show up to youth group, but that doesn't mean that they're believers yet, right? And then we have grow events, and these are designed specifically to help your students grow deeper in their faith. So they've already been reached, right? Now we're going to help them grow, and that means helping them understand, what does it mean to walk in obedience to Christ? What does it mean for them to be the ones who are cultivating their relationship with the Lord, not just, hey, mom and dad, bring me to church, but what does that mean to actually grow deeper in their faith? And then the next step is go. This is where students are in charge. You provide the opportunity for your students, but they are knocking it out of the park. They're using their spiritual gifts. They're using their talents. They're serving. They are the ones, doing the evangelizing. They are going out. They are the ones in charge of it. And so your job is basically with these events, you just provide the opportunity and then you get out of the way. You let them take ownership. You let them take chances. You let them really be in charge of doing the ministry. And these events take place best in outings, right? Service projects, leadership retreats, mission trips, things like that.
Mm-hmm. I do some consulting. I don't do a lot of consulting. I don't like to do a lot of consulting, but when churches ask me, this is the thing that I sit down with them and I say, can you convey your strategy for youth ministry to your parents in under 30 seconds? Because if you can't, no one's listening to you. And everybody thinks you don't have a plan. And the worst thing in the world is when a youth worker doesn't have a plan, because the suspicion is, hey, you guys don't know what you're doing, right? Junior pastor, you don't know what you're doing, right? But if we have a mission that we can articulate in under 30 seconds. So when I was a youth pastor, I used to be able to say this: our mission is to see students become fully developed followers of Christ. And we do it in 3 ways. We reach lost kids, we help students grow in Christ, and we go out and help students use their gifts so that they can be the church today. That was not even 20 seconds. And I can explain youth ministry in 20 seconds. And when I could do that, people thought I was literally a genius, right? Because nobody else could explain church in under 20 seconds, right? This is what's great about this system, is it's easily communicated. And that's a key. You got to be able to communicate what you're doing in youth ministry very quickly. So here's also the beauty of this, is that you can balance your youth ministry. When you take that chart we give you and you look at every event you're doing and ask yourself, is this the primary purpose of this, is reach, grow, or go? You're going to see if you're out of balance. Like you might have, this is typical of most youth ministries we work with, they're way out of balance when it comes to grow events. They got all their time vested in grow, a little bit in go. I mean, a little bit in reach because, Dare to Share told them they had to. So they do the Dare to Share event, right? And then a little bit, they got a student leadership team maybe or something. They got a little bit in go. And they're unbalanced. And that unbalancedness leads to all kinds of problems down the road. It's why you don't have new leaders every year. It's why you have a big leadership class go out and then you're like, oh, I got 4 more years before I'll have leaders again, right? This way you're balanced across the board. This way you see new students come into Christ. This is the way that your adults actually understand what they're supposed to be doing. That's the second key to this. Once you can communicate this quickly, then you know what to train your adult volunteers on. I get this call all the time from youth pastors. Doug, what do you think we should train on? I think you should just train on 3 things: reach, grow, go. I think you should teach your adult volunteers how to reach kids. You mentioned it. How to invite students into a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So I would teach my adults just how to invite kids to come back to youth group, how to invite kids to get to know them, have a personal relationship with them. And then when it was appropriate, how to encourage students to start a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's all I taught them to do at a reach event. That's it. I told them, I want you to do one thing and one thing only. And when you tell adults to do one thing and one thing only, you know what they do? The one thing. It's so easy. It's so simple. It's not complicated, right? Here's the thing that most youth pastors make the mistake on, is they try to do all 3 purposes in one night. Hey, it's youth group, kids. Let's start by throwing balls at each other. That's the reach part. We try to reach kids by throwing balls at them.
By throwing stuff at them.
And then we got my talk, and we're going to break into small groups. And then the student worship band's going to get up here, and they're going to lead us. And so we got reach, grow, go all in one night. You know who doesn't get that? Your adult volunteers. That's what drives them to the side of the room, and that's why they put their hands behind their back and stand next to the wall, is because they don't know the purpose of what you're doing. Have one purpose every night. So first one, reach, invite. That's the only thing I want you to do. You used to have a big sign up at youth group that said invite. All the students thought it was a new programming thing we were doing at church, but it was just a message to my adults. I only want you to do one thing tonight, invite, right? And then when we do grow, I taught them the discipleship pathway, which you get in D now, right? You get the discipleship pathway. You learn how to be a really relational volunteer. You learn how to tell your story of redemption so that you can share your walk in Christ with students. You learn how to lead a discussion. By the way, we're all using discussion as a strategy, but have we trained our adults in it? You learn how to actually make Bible life applications, which is the key to transformation and growth. And you learn how to hold students accountable. The discipleship pathway, great tool. And that would be all we would train on for the grow. And then for go, I would train my adults to say this line all the time with student leaders. I don't know. What do you think? So that the adults would remember not to answer questions, not to show them how to do something unless it was something very specific and students would not know how to do it. And then I'd tell a student, we're going to teach you how to do it, but when the next student asks, we're going to send them to you and you got to teach them.
Yeah, you
right?
teach them. Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think? Or is there a better way? This is another line that you can use to develop student leaders really easily. They're doing something like raking a yard, and you might say, hey, student leaders, come here. Is there a better way? There might be a better way to do this, and then get them to think about a plan that they can actually use. So these are the three things that I would train my adults on. Nothing else. They don't have the time. They can't go to meetings and meetings about all kinds of different things. This is it. How to invite, how to grow, and how to send a student out to go and use their gifts and encourage them to be a leader. You do this, you'll communicate it in under 30 seconds. You'll have a training plan that your adults will learn and love because you only ask them to do one thing. You'll have a purpose for everything you'll do. You know what? You're going to be a great youth worker. And it all comes in deep discipleship. It's all in here. It's all made for you. Even the events are made for you. So it's just a big win. So when you're dealing with youth workers and they're walking through deep discipleship for the first time, what are some tips that you give them, Kellee, to actually be able to use these program elements in a really effective way?
Yeah. One of my favorite things is to give ideas to, youth leaders on how to use it. I do say, I don't know, what do you think? A lot. Like, what is the purpose of this? Well, you look at it and tell me what you think. So one, we can flip that and use it on youth leaders. But for this particular reach, grow, go strategy chart, I love to say this is the perfect thing when you have somebody come up to you, a student, a parent, the lead pastor, and say, hey, why don't you do this? Well, you can pull out your chart and say, well, you tell me where it fits in reach, go, and go, reach, grow, and go. And then we can talk about it. If it doesn't fit, then we don't do it, right? And so everything in deep discipleship, we want to be very intentional with. We want you to know where you're going. We want you to know why you're doing it. We want it to be fruitful in your ministry. Why do things if it's not going to produce, good fruit? And so showing youth pastors, youth leaders, what deep discipleship has in it, how they can use it, how they can contextualize it to their specific church is one of the greatest things that I get to do in my job.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of youth workers, they got into youth ministry because they love students. They love Jesus and they want to see students walk in a relationship with Jesus. And they didn't get into it because they were great strategists. This actually teaches you a simple strategy that you can communicate really fast, and then it fills in all of the blanks for you.
Yes.
I have found that so many youth workers who have gone through a training that I've done on this or something else call me later and go, I can't believe how simple this is. Like, why are they not teaching this at my Christian college? This is so easy, right?
Yeah.
And it's effective. That's the other thing. It's effective. You don't have to worry about the alpha generation or the generation Z or you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You don't have to worry about the future of youth ministry. Hey, the future of youth ministry is relationships with students and sharing Christ with them. That's the future of youth ministry. All of this is actually pretty simple and easy, and deep discipleship does it for you. I think you're going to love it if you look into it. And Kellee's an expert at this. She can walk you through it. She can make it really zing for you. And the events we give you are pretty awesome. They're really fun. And they're really great. And, we include the games. We include all the activities. We got summer camp for you. It's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. And so I'm glad we got to talk about programming today. Anything else, Kellee, you want to say about programming as I try to keep this to 15 minutes?
Yeah. No, other than if you need help, we are here. It is my job and my privilege to support churches, to walk alongside you, to cheer you along. And so if you're looking at it and you're like, I still don't understand, let me know. We'll jump on Zoom together. Yeah.
And we got some great tools, some great worksheets that help you actually figure this out very, very quickly. So we would love to help you. All right, Kellee, Deep Discipleship has had quite the year. And we're continuing to see it grow even over the last week. It's been amazing, right? Like people are just diving in and grabbing onto this, and it's exciting for us. I was doing a little bit of math the other day because I had a board meeting, and I was playing with the numbers, average size youth ministry. There's over 500,000 students every week that is using Deep Discipleship. I know
That's
it's not about the
incredible.
numbers, not about the number, but it is exciting to see the impact that deep discipleship is having throughout youth groups across America.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
In various sizes, various places,
yeah,
it's not
Australia.
for
I got an email from a guy in South Africa the other day who's using a bunch of it. It is really fun. So it's fun to be a part of. Thanks for watching our podcast. Remember, you can like or follow, I think, are the two ways that you can hang out with us and stay connected to us. We're going to do a ton more training, and we're here for you. Give us a call. We'd love to be able to help. Thanks, Kellee. Talk soon.